There's a movie called Sovereign, which I have not seen yet. I saw the trailer to Sovereign, and it has Nick Offerman in a dramatic role. I loved him in The Founder several years ago. Eric, we reviewed The Founder several years ago. The McDonald's thing. Did you see that movie, or was it me and Bruce who saw The Founder? Do you
I've seen
remember?
The Founder quite a few times. I
Isn't
love
that
that
movie
movie. Yeah,
so good, right? Yeah.
yeah.
I want to be Michael Keaton, and I want you and Bruce to be like Nick Offerman and his brother in The Founder. Do you see how the thing in cinematics is going to shake down?
The way it's worked is you and Anderson are the McDonald's brothers, and
Oh,
then
come.
me and Bruce are the Michael Keaton character coming in to
Yeah,
overtake it.
I never said I was smart. Yeah, that's correct. That's actually correct. But anyways, this means Nick Offerman was in The Founder, great in The Founder. I saw the trailer to Sovereign. He looks really good. That's all I know is about the trailer. I have the plot synopsis here. Eric Holmes, I can read it off for you, or you could actually just start with your review and what Sovereign is about. You're the boss. You can.
You can go. There's not a whole lot to spoil on this.
All
Yeah,
right. Okay,
leave it
Sovereign.
to
It's
it.
it's in theaters or available to own or rent on July 11th. And it's, quote, inspired by true events. It's the tense and provocative true crime thriller about a dad and his teenage son, Jerry and Joseph Kane, played by Nick Offerman and Jacob Tremblay. Oh, another great actor, who follow the sovereign citizen belief system, a deeply anti establishment worldview rooted in distrust of government authority as they go across country, delivering these seminars and pushing against systems that they believe failed them. Their journey brings them into direct conflict with police chief Jim Bouchard or Bochart. I don't know how to pronounce the last name. Bochart's played by Dennis Quaid. And what happens is this conflict sets up, quote, a tragic chain of events that forces a reckoning. Again, Sovereign Theaters or available to own or rent July 11th. Again, the trailer looks awesome. I think there might be some action. Dennis Quaid versus Nick Offerman and Jacob Tremblay sounds interesting. Eric Holmes, Sovereign is this movie interesting?
Yeah, I think for some people it might be kind of triggering just because of who Nick Offerman's character is, the kind of person that he is. Maybe you've seen like YouTube videos of sovereign citizens going into court and how they like to pretend that the rules don't apply to them because they're a sovereign citizen. And like I get I get the idea that people would want to do this. Like I see where they're coming from. It just doesn't work. And one of the things they point out in this, they don't really point it out like directly, but it's part of the movie is that I shouldn't have to pay this because I'm a sovereign citizen. I never agreed to that sort of contract, or I don't want to do this because he'll come up with all this stuff that basically makes him not want to engage in the social construct that we built, but they still get to enjoy some of the benefits that come from that. There's you don't have a driver's license to drive on the road. He doesn't think he should have one. The taxes pay for the road repairs and stuff. Whether that's right or wrong, that's what it is. And so he's basically trying to force himself into a world that just doesn't exist. The movie starts off with basically a crime scene, a bunch of police stuff going over, blah, 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 it's me dead, blah, blah, blah. So right away, once you see that, and then you get a couple minutes of Nick Offerman's character, you can pretty quickly tell that, oh, that opening scene that we saw is probably where we're heading towards this movie. And that's exactly what it is. It's really interesting watching Nick Offerman's character, especially when he does these classes and what do you call it?
Propaganda
You know,
courses?
yeah, pretty much. Not so much propaganda, but preaching to the choir. The people that go there, it's just they already believe in that. They just want to hear someone else talk about it. And so you get to watch them do those talks, and it's pretty cool. Now the writing in this is really good because you see all the logical fallacies Nick Offerman's character does within those talks, and that's not a aspect of the writer being a bad writer. It's the writer understanding who this character is and then knowing how they're gonna manipulate conversation, whether that be to others or themselves. It's a
Sorry,
really good. It's
is
a
this?
really.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was wondering the way you're reviewing this movie, is it more interesting as a philosophical look at something? Because I was thinking from the trailer, it's really genrefied, or is it a very good mix of both?
The only part that gets like really genre is the end scene when everything just goes to hell. Everything leading up to that is just complete character study. of Nick Offerman and how Jacob Tremblay's character looks up to him, and how what Nick Offerman's character, like how his son follows in his footsteps. And then when he gets exposed to outside ideas, how he's trying to pull away from that. But yeah, Sovereign's just really good movie. The screenwriter and the filmmaker seem to really understand the kind of people that they're talking about, and don't think it paints them in a great light, but it doesn't paint them in an unfair light that I can see.
I think a trope for a movie like this would be maybe the writer would have framed a story like this from the POV of the teenage son, and then we would see it through his prism. Is there a specific POV for Sovereign, or does it take the POV of these three people?
It goes Nick Offerman and Jacob Tremblay are together pretty much all the time. So it's hard to say whether it takes POV of one or the other, but it's both of them. But you do get scenes with Jacob Tremblay by himself, and then you get, because you have to see, like, we've seen how he grew up, and then now he breaks away from his dad and he gets some information about the world outside of that, and then he's got his own conflict. I love my dad, I believe him, but this stuff over here makes a little bit of sense. There's one particularly heartbreaking scene towards the end where the two of them kind of butt heads on things. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird because it sounds like I'm spoiling it, but like when you watch it, there's only one way this movie can go.
It's
like from the outset, and even they foreshadow it like right at the opening scene.
Right.
It's just, this movie's going to be a tragedy. Let's see how these characters, let's see their point of view and what their beliefs are while we wait for everything to just kind of circle the drain.
Would you describe Dennis Quaid as more of an ancillary character then, as someone who drives a plot forward to the inevitable conclusion? So
Dennis Quaid's character he's like a cop, like pretty high-ranking official, and his son is a pretty green cop. And so you get to see the perspective of the police at some points, and it doesn't really paint them in a great light either.
Very interesting.
So this is kind of one of those things that just because I disagree with Nick Offerman doesn't mean I agree with Dennis Quaid. They're both quite flawed, and quite honestly, probably do better without either of them.
Oh, that sounds like a very well-rounded drama, which is, by the way, written and directed by Christian Swegal, Swegal. And Eric, you complimented his writing as well, so that's a good thing. What is your last comment or opinion and rating for Sovereign?
Yeah, double feature this with NitRam and take some antidepressants before you do it. No, this movie's really good, and yeah, I probably gonna hear a lot of this today, but we're 5-star on that.
Oh, 5-star. Okay, 5 stars from Eric Holmes for Sovereign. Very good. Okay. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. For more movie and television reviews and interviews, please subscribe to my Deepest Dream channel. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And as always, thanks so much for your support. Take care.